Okay, we've arrived at the Gazainadka coffee and spice plantation. Some of the fine Bench Maji Arabica coffee. So this is the plantation we're at, 500 hectares of wild coffee within the trees. Very organic, very sustainable, and a really cool plantation we're visiting. To give a bit more of a background, we're coming in to help them to improve the yield and the efficiency through seeing how everything's done right now, and then we're doing a lot of research into kind of the best practices of coffee production, and we're going to write a report on everything that should be done to maximise the yield and the quality of the coffee that we harvested for September, October this year, and then planning ahead for future years as well. You can see that the coffee is grown in a rainforest, and so it's very good for the environment, keeping all the trees here, because we saw on the way here all the rubber plantations, and the trees have been completely stripped out to replace them with rubber trees, which is very bad for the environment. And there used to be things like elephants here, which have now all gone. The coffee beans can be seen here on the plants. They're currently green, and they should be ready to pick in about 2 months' time. And when that happens, they turn red. So for the higher beans up here, the plant can just be pulled down to pick the coffee beans. And these are all Arabica plants, Arabica coffee. This is a new species of coffee they're bringing into the farm called geisha, and so it grows horizontally, which makes it much more easier to pick, and it also has a very high quality, so you can quite easily get grade 1 specialty coffee. Within the next year they're hoping to plant 50 hectares of this new species of geisha coffee, and in the long term they're hoping to plant half the plantation with it, which is 250 hectares. So as you can see, I literally have to bend down to pick this. Whereas the other species, the Arabica here, much higher. I have to reach up. So it can really speed up the picking process. Cheers. Where this maize is growing is actually where all the coffee's dried in the drying season, so from September onwards. So more than a hectare of the land here will be used for drying coffee. You can see all the mesh over here for the drying of the coffee. That is a dried coffee cherry. So what happens is they dry the beans after they've been picked, and then they mill them. And when they mill them, they get two things. So they get the bean, and they get the husk. And so the bean will then go into roasting and producing coffee. The husk is disposed, but it could be used for something else, which I'll talk about in a minute. This right here is a huge pile of cascara. Cascara is the kind of the outer husk of a coffee bean. It's usually discarded and burnt in big piles like this, but it can actually be used to make a very nice tea, and currently it's quite often used in America and parts of Europe to make this tea, but I think a lot more of it could be made, so it's already a waste product, so why not use it? So I'm going to take some home and see what I can make of it.
No one would ever drink this.
Okay, back to the drawing board maybe.
You wanna taste it? Yeah.
It tastes like it smells actually.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't think this is quite the right thing.
What did it?
Currently in the warehouse, which also works as the milling. So to mill the coffee, you put in the dried beans into the hopper here, and it goes into this contraption which separates the beans from the husks, and the husks go out here, out the back, and then the finished coffee beans are graded via this machine, and they come out here. So you have grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, and they're all bagged into these sacks here. So much coffee.
So it's kind
Gesha,
Geisha,
Arabica grade 1,
grade 1, 2.
Arabica grade 2, bad.
So the quality one will be still in there.
Okay.
So it will
Quality
come out
two
the other
comes-
way.
comes
In
through.
size,
Yeah.
in size.
So the hope is the coffee beans produced will be as high a grade as possible, ideally specialty coffee. You get the highest prices then, and they go to baristas all over the world. So that's it, that's the end of the coffee processing in Ethiopia. Next stage is to export it to whatever country's buying them, and over there roasters roast the beans, then be sold to coffee shops and whoever wants them. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining me on the tour. We've got a tea made from coffee leaves.
They get it from the backyards.
Okay. Strong, strong. And they put quite a lot of salt in it as well. What? It's got quite a kick to it. We are Bench Maji.